Hi, welcome back to Boxing Basics with Tony the Tiger Lopez, former 3-time world boxing champion. Today we're going to be moving on and we're going to start punching. Before we start the punching aspect, I would like to say, hey, you know what? Thank you to Blue Corner for our sponsorships. We have a lot of equipment from them that it actually feels really good. If you know anything about the Reyes boxing equipment back then, that's exactly what they feel like. They're a fighter's glove, trust and believe. And saying that, we're going to be moving on with punching. With me, it's tight fists, loose shoulders. I'll explain that here in a minute because we're going to need to have that pop. And that pop comes from your shoulders. And I'll be explaining that, how to do that, how to get that down every day. Thank you to Rapadas for letting us use his gym right here in Sacramento Midtown Fitness and Boxing. It's a great place and I appreciate you letting us use the gym. Come down, check out the gym, Midtown Fitness and Boxing right here in Sacramento on 24th and J. Hi, okay, we're back. We're gonna start working on the jab. Now this is gonna be the jab for the right-hander, okay? It's a basic jab. You get on your on-guard position, make sure that back foot is up and your butt is sticking out. You're kind of squatted down. You just go from maybe a tenth of a break on your knees. Make sure you're standing straight up. Now your jab is just this. It's just out straight. There's no hesitating. There's none of this. There's no moving it. The more movement you give, the more you're giving your opponent notice that you're going to throw something. So when you box, you're here. When you throw a jab, you just throw it. Come back. A correct jab is here. So if you're looking at it from the side, my shoulder is covering my chin. Now, in a fight, the most important thing you want to cover is your chin. So you don't keep your head straight up. Don't kind of just leave it normal. Kind of look straight. If your chin is down, it's okay. Just don't do this. Don't look at the floor. I don't want you looking at the floor. Look kind of straight. Keep your chin kind of tucked and throw it. A correct jab is here. Now, in saying a correct jab is that, also meaning tight fist, loose shoulder. So for right now, it's just here. It's that easy. When you throw it, when you're at the end of your punch, because here is where all the power is, right there. That's where all the power is. Now watch my hand, how it's turning. My fist is to the sky, okay? My hand is facing up. I don't want you hitting like this or hitting like this, or it's here. That pop is here. The pop is here. That's that pop. That's the pop you want. So right here, and when you throw that jab, you want to get it out and bring it back as fast as you can, correctly. You can start off slow, here, back, here, back, here, back, and then you'll slowly start to get that pop out of it. There's no telegraphing, there's no motion before, there's no motion after. It's here, here, and back. You're not given any notion that you're going to throw that jab. A jab is a surprise jab. It's kind of like you never want to let your opponent know what punch you're going to throw anyways. So any movement that you do, as you get on and we get on further in class, you're going to learn and understand that any movement that your opponent does, you're going to catch. Your eyes. You hear all kinds of rumors of look at his chest, look at his shoulders, never look at his gloves. But you hear all kinds of trainers telling you what to look at on your opponent. I've always looked at my opponent's eyes. Because when you look at your opponent's eyes, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you look at your opponent in the eyes, if he lifts his legs, you'll see it. If he flinches, you'll see it. Any sudden movement that he does, you'll pick it up. You may not pick it up today, tomorrow, or next week, but if you keep on doing this class, you will start to pick it up. So you'll pick it up so fast, that any sudden single split of a second of a movement, you'll pick, and you'll be able to catch or counter, whatever you feel like doing at that time. So right now, let's get back to the jab. Hands up. Now I don't want your hands up here. Don't block your eyesight. Your hands right below your chin. Just want to pop it out, pop it out. No movement other than the hand moving is here. I put my hand to my face. You can have it down. That's correct. You just want to be able to block a punch if you have to. I'll show you that later. Block a punch if you have to. It's just a straight jab. It's not that hard. A jab is really important to have a tight fist, loose shoulder, but it's really important to make sure it's fast. That you put it out, you bring it back as fast as you put it out. That's the main thing with a jab, because it's a surprise punch. It's the sneakiest punch you can throw in boxing because they don't see it. It's here, bam, bam, and then it's back, and this back. Now, I'll tell you that later too. I get ahead of myself. Now for the southpaw, okay? We're going to change our dimensions in our footwork. Our right foot is out front. Same scenario here. It's a tight fist, loose shoulder. It's out and back, out and back. Hands are still up. They're not covering your eyes. They're not here. They're right below your eyes. Your left is by your cheek. And again, if I turn this way, when I jab, my shoulder is covering my chin. So if a guy decides to move his head outwards and come with the left hook, he hits my shoulder, not my chin. So it's protecting my chin. I don't need you to do this or do this. Leave your head kind of locked, tuck your chin just a tad, and pop it out there. Make sure your hands are turning over. It's really important that your hand turns over because you want to hit your opponent with your knuckles. You don't want to hit him with your fingers, you want to hit him with your knuckles. Okay? So when you hit with your knuckles, it's going to be a lot more painful. And that's what it's all about with boxing. You got to hit with your knuckles, not your fingers, not your wrists. Hit with your knuckles. Fist to the sky, the top of my fist to the sky, here. Because from here, I'm turned. At the last second, it turns. And what happens with that turn is that's how fighters get cut. Because when you hit a fighter and you turn at the last second, what it does is that punch is turning that skin. It's turning that skin. That's why fighters get cut on the eyebrow, on the bone. That's how cuts happen. Because when you hit, you're turning the skin over. It's turning the skin, and it cuts you. So that's it with a jab. Not that hard. We'll come back we'll show you the right hand. Now we're off to the right hand. Right hand is going to be just plain and simple. We're going to start with the basic right hand, but we're going to pivot this time. So it's a little bit more than basic, because most times people just throw, you see on fights all the time, people throw right hand, they don't turn their body, they don't pivot, they don't do a lot of stuff. That's a real basic right hand. Well, our basic right hand is going to involve turning your foot and pivoting. So you want to pivot, and your body's going to move a little bit, because the way your stance is, I want you standing up, hands up here, not covering your eyes, down by your chin, by your cheeks. Your back foot is up. I want that back toe up. Now, a right hand starts with your back leg. I don't know if okay, he can get it. But your right hand starts at your back leg for the right hander. Your foot is up. When you start throwing a right hand, it starts from your foot. You start to turn. But when you turn, your whole body turns. It's not just it's your foot, your knee, your hip, your arm, your shoulder goes out. All goes one way. And if you do it correctly, and if you're not leaving your head high, you're just sitting here, chin up normal. When you throw that right hand, it's going to cover that chin on this side. It's going to always cover here. So you start from the foot and you push, but your body's straight. A lot of fighters, you see a lot of fighters on TV and the amateurs. They throw a right hand like this. Well, when you do this, you're closer to getting hit. The objective of this game is to hit and not be hit. We're not trying to get hit. So when we throw our right hand, our backs are straight, here, and turn. Now we just brought our head from here to here. So that's what? A foot? So now we're a foot away from getting hit. So again, it starts from the bottom of your foot. You push, your body straight up, here. Your body's going to move this far. Maybe he can get it with the side camera here. I'm going to turn here. I'm going to throw right hand here. Come back. Your body's going to move this far. That's how much it's going to move. But that's because you're bringing it from your power. You're bringing it from the biggest muscle in your body, your leg. You're here, push. Here, push. You're pushing with your biggest muscle. And when you push, wham, it comes out. These two shoulders are going to turn. Turn your shoulders. Don't forget, there's a lot of weight in your upper body. Use it. If you're going to hit him hard. Make him think about it. So if you hit him, turn them shoulders, turn that leg, pivot, wham. These two shoulders are turning. They're sideways. They're here, now they're here. Your whole waist turns. From here, here. Pop back, pop back, pop back, pop back. Okay? It's a lot of work. So when you start on it, you know, it takes time. Don't expect miracles in one day, but it's something I do need you to do every day. So from the side view, you're here with my hands down, not yours. Here, push with this back leg, and your body's going to move. Make sure your shoulders change places, and throw that right hand. Hands up. The chin's covering, my shoulders covering my chin. And if your foot happens to move out, bring it back. I get that a lot when you're training amateur fighters. If you pivot, your foot moves out backwards a little bit. Well, if you're looking at my feet, every time I pivot, my foot obviously goes backwards. Bring it back. So when you pivot, bring it back. Pivot, bring it back. Pivot, bring it back. Get used to bringing that foot back. It should be automatically. So when you're fighting, you're not thinking bringing it back. It just does it. So when you, the right hand, it's going to come back automatically. Okay? Now we're going to do the jab for the southpaw. Here we go. We're going to get it in our southpaw stance. Hands up again. Not covering your eyes. Just below your chin a little tiny bit. Your gloves, anywhere around there is good. Same scenario. Your back foot is up. Your front foot is down. You're going to pop a jab just out. Out here. Out here. Now even at that point, coming from the side view, here, my shoulder is covering my chin. So that way he don't slip to the outside and shoot left hook up and catch me in the chin. So if I'm jabbing, that's to protect my chin. Okay? It's the same thing. Tight fist, loose shoulder. Here. Have your back straight, your knee slightly bent, your foot up in the back. And develop that pop with that shoulder. Pop, 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 pop. Get that pop down. That's where your power's at. It's not here, it's not here, it's not here. It's here. That's where all the power's at. That's where that snap is at. That makes their head go back. That's what you want. Pop. Okay? It's that simple. Again, practice it every day. If you're coming only here and you're only watching once a day, you're not going to get it. It's something you got to do every day. Get in front of a mirror, do it in front of a mirror, check yourself. We're going to do a power hand for the southpaw, which is a straight left, right? We'll get, I had some, I'm just thinking, I had some, I'll tell you that later. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so hands up. When you turn, you turn. You pivot, you push. Your body's still straight up, and that's still covering your chin here. Your shoulders are still turning. And you want to develop that pop, 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 pop. That's what you want to get. That's that pop you want. You want their head to go like that. That's what you want. So then you can go take it off. That's later. But it's turn, pop, 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 pop. The basic jab, the basic right hand. Make sure your foot turns, make sure your shoulders turn, and make sure your back is straight. Butt out, back straight. Push off that back foot. Your body needs to move a little bit more. Needs to move about this much. That's a good right hand. Or that's a good power hand, shall I say. Or power left, power right, whatever. It's your power hand. That's how you use it. See you next time. That concludes today's lessons. Next week's lesson is we're going to be throwing left hooks and right hooks the correct way. the more you do it, the more better you're gonna get at it. You need to practice this every day, at least an hour. It ain't that hard. You'll break a little sweat, lose a little weight. Great, awesome. We're gonna get that done. Once we get that done, once I think we have done enough punches that we can throw a combination, we're going to be throwing combinations. You'll be throwing combinations before you even realize it, because we got to go back, include footwork, we're going to include our punching, and we're going to include everything that we have done in the past. So we'll just keep going forward. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Blue Corner, awesome gloves. Again, watch, I ain't got a lot to kick it. These are really good gloves. They're tight, they're a puncher's glove. I'd like to thank Midtown Fitness and Boxing here in Sacramento on 24th and J Street on 24th for letting us use their place. Awesome, thank you, I appreciate it. Appreciate that. Lopez, man, that's my boy. And I want you to hit the like button, and with your power hand, hit the subscribe button, because you want to know what's coming up next. Talk to you then, later.